Hi guys, welcome to Simproved, Fry speaking here, and welcome back to another Sims 4 speed build. And this is the first build for our spooky October. I think some called it Spooktober. I don't know what to call it, but definitely since October is also the Halloween month, and since I'm a very huge horror fan, we are going to do lots and lots of horror themed builds in this month. And if you are also a horror fan like I am, I really hope that you are going to like this. And also I will put the playlist with all the other videos from all the other last years in the video description down below, so you can check them out, and of course always suggest new builds for me. So what am I building here? This is a haunted house. Yes, we are going to start simple this month, but be prepared for other awesome, really amazing, cool horror themed builds. I'm really looking forward to this. But yeah, this is of course like the basic bitch of every haunted builds, I guess. I'm pretty sure lots of other simmers have done a haunted house, and I've done a couple of them already. But this time I wanted to go with a more French kind of 19th century look that I really liked, and that usually is like, I don't know why the shape is chosen as like the haunted house. Like if you put in haunted house on Google and look like 4 images, this is like kind of the shape of the house. I don't know why. Either way, you get like a Dracula castle or you get like a house shaped like this. So basically, this is a 2-story high villa, kind of, mansion villa. And it has it's like distinguished by this really huge roofing. It's a very steep roof. And it has this, I would say, like flat surface on top. I don't know how these roofs are actually called. Remember that I am not a architect, and yes, like always, since I do my voiceovers unscripted, I have no idea and haven't looked this up. But this is basically how they look like, and this is also how I wanted to build this. So of course, like always, I started with the exterior. Also, don't mind the background here. I started to build in Lindenberg, but we will move to Forgotten Hollow soon, which is the vampire world of The Sims 4. Of course, since it's the creepy month, I'm trying to build them like on creepy places. So yeah, be aware it's going to get a little bit darker in a couple of minutes. And yeah, as you can see here, I had a little bit of trouble with the roofing a little bit because it kind of cuts through the upper, it's just hard to explain. But basically, if you are also like a roof nerd like I am in The Sims 4, I know it gets tricky over time. Like I know that people have been complaining about how roofs are and that it's like so tricky to do. But basically it's just lots and lots of patience and copying the roof again and again and kind of, you know, dragging and dropping it, I don't know, from tile to tile and kind of wishing it works well. But sometimes, since I made it a little bit convex or concave, I am not sure. I think it's convex, I think. into, like, formed into it, inside, imploding, I don't know. I had a little bit of problem that sometimes the walls showed a little bit outside, so I had to tinker a little bit, or actually a lot, with the roofs here. But that was actually the only tricky thing, I would say, for this build. The other things were just massively overdoing decorations. Like always, I'm the crazy clutter lady of YouTube, so be prepared for this. And also, of course, I used lots and lots of the vampire gameplay pack stuff here as well. So this is a build where I used lots and lots of the vampire stuff. I used a lot of Get Together, I think, and also maybe Get to Work? I'm not sure. But I tried to put it like minimal. So if you download this from the gallery, by the way, I will put the link in the video description down below, as always. There shouldn't be not so many stuff packs that you need for this. But I definitely needed the vampire stuff to, you know, get this eerie vibe, because you get lots and lots of awesome objects for building these kinds of houses. And I, of course, had to use it here as well. So yeah, I really hope that you're going to like this house. So basically the layout was of course inspired by lots of these, like I said, if you just type in haunted house in Google, you kind of get this shape, this typical, what I personally always call the French 19th century shape. I don't know why, but it's like this distinctive, especially the roof, like the really steep roof is like something that I associate with Paris somehow. So I thought, okay, well, then I just painted black and maybe put some creepy stuff and crawlies all around, and of course some creepy trees, and we have a haunted mansion. Well, also I stacked lots and lots of gargoyles on there and statues and like this werewolf cross kind of thing. Like, we got lots and lots of awesome decorations from the vampire gameplay pack. So that one is there too. And also, if you ask yourself why there is even white on there, because I really wanted it to look run down. But since in The Sims 4 we have, like, I don't know how to explain it, but the shaders are a little bit weird sometimes. Hence, sometimes gray turns out to look a little bit more bluish or a little bit more yellowish, because the saturation of the sunlight and shadows is a little bit too harsh. I really like it in the game though, since it looks a little bit more cartoony, like the whole game style is. But therefore, I usually like to use, even eventually, if I use lots of black as like the wallpaper, I use white windows and white columns as a bright exact contrast, so it isn't like a mushy gray piece of an house or building, so you can clearly see where the windows are and all that kind of stuff. It doesn't blend very well, but this is actually what I wanted it to do. So it kind of looks a little bit more elaborate. It kind of looks a little bit, even like with the white, you can see more of the pattern and structure and texture of each little thing. So this is also why I turned to like, or to use white, even like these darker creepy builds. So yeah, if you are into something like this is like my whole tip. If you want to go with the Sims 4 kind of comical theme, I would always go with trimmings and like frames of windows and all that kind of stuff to go with white or a very bright color, especially if you do the wallpaper in a very dark kind of color. Otherwise, it kind of looks, of course, not as realistic, but it looks a little bit more comical, kind of overdone, like in The Sims 4, like we have in The Sims 4. So yeah, that would be my first suggestion if you want to build a haunted house. So yeah, here you can already see me doing the exterior kind of decorating. Of course, I did some landscaping, so there are lots and lots of these dried out bushes and ferns. And of course, we have some tombstones outside because, yeah, people have been living there for ages. This is basically how I wanted it to look like. Also, I will put lots and lots of cracks and crannies inside. Oh, here we are already in interior design. So as you can see, I already prepared a little bit before I started recording the interior design. And this is basically because I had to put tons and tons of cobwebs and tons of these cracks and these little water damage splats that you have and through the, I think it was the vampire pack again, but also we got some of these from the jungle adventure pack. So I mixed them up. So I really wanted it to look super run down and almost as if nobody is living there, since it's like a haunted house. And of course, I used lots and lots of these old portraits. There is no electricity whatsoever in this whole build, so there's no TV, there are no electrical light fixtures, there are no electrical looking kitchen supplies and appliances. So we go with full-on candles here. You can play it as any, I don't know, old-fashioned kind of haunted house. And also, it kind of fits into the medieval fairy tale kind of gameplay that some of you guys do, of course, in The Sims 4. So this is a house for you if you want to. I know that lots and lots of you sometimes play with these kinds of rundown houses where there's like no, you know, electrical devices. So it really looks like from, I don't know, like 1716. Wait, when did we get electric? I have no idea. But yeah, basically this is what I wanted to do here. Also, of course, keep in mind the interior is, of course, like the layout of the house doesn't make any sense for a house like this that has been from this era. But I wanted to have like a huge kind of ballroom that has been transformed into a living room, because I just thought like vampire balls or like a ghost ball dance kind of thing would be really cool. So you can just delete some of the sofas or just push them to the side and kind of, you know, play as a ball kind of soiree thing. I thought that would be really, really cool. And this is also what I wanted to do here. Then I did the kitchen. The kitchen was actually pretty easy since I used only the counters from the vampire pack again. And also the kitchen, if you play with vampires, they don't need a kitchen, of course, but I didn't know what or who will be living in your game. So there is a kitchen, it's fully functional. So there is, of course, a stove. I took the really old-fashioned one, and a sink, and, you know, place to eat and all that kind of stuff. It's, of course, again, very run down. You can see that I used lots of these portraits and cobwebs and the cracks again. So this has been the most repetitive thing, I guess, like all these candelabras, these sconces, the cracks, the cobwebs. So this is why I had to pre-repair before furnishing. So it kind of looks, kind of old-timey and really run down and kind of like a creepy old mansion. And I thought that would be really cool. If you want to play it like in its really glamorous state without the cobwebs, I'm pretty sure it will take you quite some time to delete all of them. But I wish you good luck. Maybe you just delete all the rooms then and start anew or something. I guess that would save you so much more time, because I think it took me about 40 minutes to meticulously place every crack and every cobweb and all that kind of stuff. By the way, here you can already see one of the 3 bedrooms that are upstairs. So upstairs are 3 different themed bedrooms. Also upstairs is another bathroom, and downstairs is also another bathroom that I also did before I recorded the furnishing. Since you guys know I hate bathrooms, I hate doing them. They're just boring, but be reminded there are bathrooms in this build, and I hope you're going to like them. So the first bedroom I did was black themed. We only go with, you know, different color themes. I wouldn't say that it's like dedicated to a personality in The Sims 4 or any personality from horror games or like horror movies or stuff like this. And the next one is a really special one, because that one has also a organ. Is it called an organ? The piano thingy that you have that is also downstairs. So maybe that's for the more musical ghost, vampire, witch, sim, creepy sim, whatever that lives there. So that is the music kind of bedroom. And if you are asking why I'm not putting any coffins in, again, I didn't know if you want to do like a vampire kind of build or more play with ghosts. Since we have ghosts in the game, that would be also pretty cool. But yeah, so there will be a coffin in the 3rd bedroom. There will be one, and also there's one in the attic where your Sims should be able to teleport to, because in the attic there is no stairs up there. You can put one up there if you want to, because I dedicated a little lionfish shrine corner up there as well, but it's basically hidden, of course. As you know, guys, I usually always put a lionfish in all of my builds. It's my, I don't know, my YouTube Sims 4 build spirit animal, something like this. And of course we all worship the lionfish, the mighty lionfish god, our Lord and Savior here on this channel. So of course I had to dedicate something for him, especially since for me he's kind of like a horror kind of demon god or something, because it looks a little bit more intimidating. But yeah, this is basically the whole build that I did. I really hope that you're going to like this one. It's a little bit, I would say, yeah, it's a creepy, but it's still kind of like in a comical kind of sense, like The Sims 4 has. So I really hope that you're going to like this one. I also want to thank you all for your amazing suggestions under one of my community posts that I did, I think 2 weeks ago, where I asked you guys what I have to build for, you know, for this month, for all the horror builds, because I did quite a lot of them, and I don't want to repeat myself, like doing an asylum again, and then you ask for another asylum. I'm like, no, one asylum is enough. Maybe we have to wait a little bit. So basically this is really, really cool for me that I can ask you guys, because you have so many cool suggestions that I haven't built, and I'm really looking forward to get to that and get my hands to that and try to, you know, build this in The Sims 4 for you guys. And I really hope that you're going to like these ones as well. So yeah, this is basically the whole build, guys. I want to thank you so much for watching. Please enjoy the video tour now, and I will see you soon. Bye bye.